Hiya, welcome to the channel. My name is Pete, and on this episode we're in a town in East Yorkshire called Driffield. I'm going to show you 3 historical curiosities that still exist, and one of them there is behind me now. That'll be number 2. So without any further ado, let's go straight across to what used to be Driffield Workhouse. Today, as we journey to the quaint town of Driffield, situated in East Yorkshire, England, our focus, 3 Driffield historical wonders, the first being the Workhouse, symbols of a bygone era reflecting the harsh realities of Victorian Britain. The first workhouse, built in 1742, was situated at Cross Hill, where a car park now occupies the site today. This was sold and paid for Driffield's first police station on Eastgate North, built in 1843. Workhouses, established by the Poor Law Amendment Act of 1834, were institutions intended to provide work and shelter for the destitute. The philosophy behind them was simple yet severe. Only those in utmost need would seek assistance, and the conditions were deliberately harsh. In 1837, a vacant spot known as Promise Close between Westgate and Middle Street was acquired by the Driffield Union and constructed a new workhouse. It was 2 stories high and had 3 ranges and a courtyard, with the master's house facing onto Middle Street. It soon became evident the building was inadequate and alterations were made. These consisted of male and female wards, a female fever ward and fowl wards. In 1864, a smallpox outbreak in Driffield spread to the workhouse. There was no isolation wards, and combined with overcrowding and lack of space led to the decision in 1865 to build a new workhouse. The site chosen was on Bridlington Road. That building would later become the East Riding County Hospital under the NHS until it was demolished in 1992. Our second curiosity is this crane behind us. We're at a place called Riverhead in Driffield along the canal. Where we are on the canal, that's the canal head at Riverhead in Driffield. Many of those, what you can see up there, are grade 2 listed buildings, and if you look closely at the end you'll see another remaining crane. But it's this one here that we're interested in today. This one is built by a company called Bray, Waddington & Co, and they were from Leeds, and their foundry was based on Crown Point Road in Leeds. This is a manual crane. I believe it is a 5-ton capacity crane. We'll move into here. You can see your manufacturer, Bray, Waddington & Co. New Dock Works, Leeds. This is a manual crane, but sadly these days it's got this to prevent it from moving. Now that has been welded down, but that used to lift up with this lever here, which has now been fixed in position there, but that lever used to lift that band and you used to be able to wind it with these, and then that chain would go down and it's still got the hook on the end. And when I was a young one, we used to get that hook and swing out over the river on that. So that is a second curiosity of being here in Driffield. Now the company that produced this went out of business by 1856, and they started, I believe, in 1850, but there is a plaque here that says that this was installed in 1858. Well, that company wasn't operating in 1858, so it must have been bought and delivered and installed after the company was dissolved due to one of the manufacturers leaving. They also used to build railway undercarriage and steam cranes. Steam cranes were available when this was installed, but it was not bought for here. It was a manual one. So that is one of the cranes at Driffield Canal. Now we're going to go over and I'm going to show something that's probably maybe not as grand, but no less as interesting as what this is. And here I am, bringing you down to number 1 on this list of curiosities of Driffield. I'm not quite certain how old this is, but this is a gate literally to nowhere, from nowhere. I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you it. I don't know if you can work that out just yet, but we've got a gate post here. It is a little bit overgrown at this time of year because we are in summer. We've got a wooden gate post, we've got a gate that is locked from the last person to come through it, and a concrete gate post. Now I can tell you that the bottom of this down there is about 2 feet higher than the ground I'm stood on, because where I'm stood was a slight embankment and a railway line ran right past here, and this was access for a farmer to get through, and the railway line used to go all the way through to there where you can see just there, and that was the Driffield to Malton railway. This railway line opened in 1853 and was finally closed in 1958. So that gate has been closed a very long time, and that wooden gate post will be a lot older than the concrete gate post. So that gate could have been closed for getting on to 70 or 80 years and never been used again. There's our gate post behind us. I hope you've enjoyed this look at 3 curiosities around Driffield. Is there anything like this where you live? Drop it in the comments. If there's anything in Driffield that you want to know about, drop it in the comments. I'll look into it. Maybe we can do a video on that. What else do you know of in this area that's a bit of a curiosity that still stands today from a long distant past? Now remember, please hit like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.